Yeah, okay, so like I just did like this long React video, um, but then towards the end, like it kind of became clear that I can't upload it because this guy is naming someone who he's accusing of being a criminal using their real name, and he even shows documentation of that person's name. And I don't want to get involved in anything that could be seen as doxing or defamation or anything like that shit. So I'm just gonna upload this video as audio only. Apologies. Okay, so like I should be asleep, but I started watching this video, and like full respect to this guy for uploading it. Like a lot of this happens to lots of people, but they never talk about it. But like I lived in Thailand for like 6 years, like working, and this to me this video is kind of funny. I haven't watched all of it. I'm not gonna react to all of it now. I already watched like the first like 13 minutes, but I was like, this is gold. So yeah, like if this guy ever listens to this video, I'm not like taking the piss out of him. I'm actually respecting for uploading it, but as someone who's lived in Thailand, the amount of red flags are just insane.
And when I landed in Thailand, it was probably the 18th of March by the time I got there. And it was so hot. And they're 6 hours ahead of us. So it would have been kind of lunchtime, maybe UK. But it was
Maybe we should remember that day, 18th of March, right?
like 6 o'clock in the evening or something when I landed. And then I had to get a bus from Bangkok to Pattaya.
Like Pattaya is not really the place to go to experience Thailand, unless you're wanting to experience a particular side of Thailand. Not judging.
This was my first walk along the streets of Thailand. They seem to ride motorcycles on the pavement where I booked my hotel. Now, I checked into my hotel. This is my room. I've even got my own microwave. Nice TV, boom, 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 bathroom, my bed with my towels. And let me show you my wonderful shower room and toilet. Look at it. And
Yeah, like fun detail. You never seem to get seats in Thai hotels for some reason.
was really hungry, actually. I was really, really hungry. And so on the street where my hotel is, right at the very end, I noticed there was a food kiosk that was selling like things like pies and chips and stuff like that. And I thought, well, I've just landed. For the sake of my stomach, maybe I should just stick to some English food to start with. So I went and bought. It was it was a Thai pie, but it was a steak and kidney pie, but it was as good as any British steak and kidney pie. Chips were just normal chips. And I just had a soft drink because I don't really drink alcohol. And that was it. But on the way, when I came out of my hotel, I was walking down the street.
So this is like day one, right? So like this guy's just arrived in Thailand, just gone to his hotel. He's just gone out to buy like a fucking pie, right? First night.
And I bumped into this woman. Okay, this woman stopped me actually and asked me where I was from and if I was lost and so on. And I said to her, no, I'm actually going to get something to eat just down there. But
Like it's kind of obvious it's gonna go downhill from here, right? But your first night in a foreign country, someone approaches you, it's probably not going to be for your best interest, right?
I'll be back shortly. And she was working just near on in a business premises just near my hotel. So I thought I'll come back to you after, and we can talk then. and went and had my food. And then I came back and I started speaking to her. And she seemed like such a nice, pleasant person. I thought, wow, I've just landed in this country and this woman is being so welcoming and so interested in who I am and whatever. And I started telling her about my whole 24 hours and doing the speech outside the Thirlwell inquiry and all that, which probably went way over her head, God knows. Anyway, but we just kind of clicked and we started chatting.
Like that, this is obviously a nice guy. I'm not mocking him when I'm finding this funny, right? This is just like a classic situation that you hear millions of times over.
No, I thought we clicked anyway, and we started chatting, and uh, yeah, and she said, well, if you want, we can meet tomorrow, and I can show you around. So that's what I agreed with her. I agreed with her that we'd meet the next day, and she would show me around. And we did that. She showed me how to use.
Like in a way, it's actually like the more kind and nicer person you are, maybe the more you're susceptible to this because you don't see the shadiness in others.
The BART buses. She showed me Grab, which is like an Uber app, Grab and Bolt, which are like the Uber apps to get taxis around. She showed me the shopping centres and the markets, and we just hung out for the day, really, actually, which was really nice until she had to go off and work.
I wonder where she was working and what that was.
And yeah, she seemed really pleasant. And literally, she was telling me that the reason she had had a business in Bangkok. She had had a couple of businesses, so I think she ran.
No. She said she had a lot of businesses, or she had a lot. She said that. He's saying she had a lot of businesses. He's already kind of like showing how he's gone wrong here. He's believing someone he's just met.
And a couple of restaurants and a weed shop,
So yeah, she had a couple of restaurants and a weed shop. All right.
cannabis shop, because they're legal in Thailand. And she had to shut it down during COVID.
She might have closed the restaurants during COVID. These imaginary. I don't for 1 second believe that she had these restaurants. 1 in 99 chance, right? But weed shops were not legal before COVID. They were legal way after COVID. So already, like, if she did say that she had a weed shop and it was closed because of that, she's that would be a way to catch it in the lie.
And lost a lot of money, and now she's trying to earn money in Pattaya, get herself going again.
I mean, like, make no mistake, like, a lot of small business owners did lose their businesses during COVID. But if I just met a girl on the street who approached me the first night of arriving in Thailand, and she said she had a few businesses or had a few businesses, I would just automatically assume that she's probably full of shit.
Because she has a child in I can't remember the region, but it's like near Chiang Mai, I think it is. So she had a child.
And that's going to be the truth there. Like, there's a lot of girls that move to Pattaya to support their child that's being looked after by their parents or grandparents. And I'm not saying like all of them do this, but there's a particular job that a lot of these girls do.
Who was living with her mother, and she has to send money to her mother to look after a child. So she was kind of trying to earn as much money as she could.
And I'm not judging those girls that do that job. It's like noble to go and do something to look after your child, right?
And so I was kind of seeing that this is an entrepreneur, a female, trying to do her best. So I was being the nice guy, and I said to her, "Well, how do you get around?" Because she was
I don't know what timeline we're on now. Like maybe this is like day 2 or something. Day 3. I don't know.
living above a weed shop, which was about maybe 3 or 4 miles from the business premises where she was working. And so I was like, "How do you get to and fro?" And she says, "Oh, I get a Grab taxi or whatever and whatever." And I said, "Well, it must cost every day to be doing that, whatever." And she said, "Yeah, it does." And I said, "Well,
Uh, I'll be honest. I would doubt that she would be getting one of these Grab taxis.
let's see how things go, and we'll see what we can do about that." And so as the time went on, every day we would meet up, and every day she would take me out. She took me to loads of different places. She took me to Kolan, and then I told her I wanted to do a music video over there. And I said, "You are very, a beautiful young lady, and you would be ideal to be in my music video." And so she agreed. "Yeah, I'll be in your music video, no problem." And so I thought, as she's going to do that, the least I could do. So this was like about 10 days into my stay. So the least I can do is help her out with transport. So I looked into how much it would cost to buy a moped, and
Like even the shittest fucking moped that's gonna work is gonna be like that's like legal 8k, like cheapest 8,000 baht. You're gonna buy someone you just met a scooter. I mean, it's like it's nice, it's kind, but I mean, I think what did you say? 10 days now. Imagine meeting someone for 10 days and you're buying them a fucking scooter, which is no joke in Thailand. Like you're buying someone a fucking scooter. That's a big thing.
I looked on Facebook Market over there, and it looks really cheap. But all the people I was contacting wouldn't respond. I wanted to surprise her with this moped for taking me around to thank her and everything, but couldn't make any progress. And eventually I got her involved and said, "Look, I want to buy you a moped so you can get around. And so, it'll just make it easier for you to earn money and run your business and do whatever you want." And then we started talking about, because I saw a few people had approached me um, over there, or I had approached some people, and I talked to a lot of people, and I said, like, what's missing from here? And quite a few of the British and American people said there is no Caribbean restaurant, and they'd love to have a Caribbean restaurant. Well, I thought to myself, here's a business opportunity, chance for me to open a Caribbean restaurant. So I spoke to her about the possibilities of us opening a Caribbean restaurant together.
So yeah, like, we're like still I think within the first 2 weeks, right? You're buying this person a fucking moped, and you're gonna go into business in a foreign country with someone. Well, I'm not judging them, but just like it's just fucking ridiculous, man.
As she had been in the restaurant business before. And she seemed
Like
really
she said she'd been in the restaurant business before. She said she'd been an owner of a business of a restaurant. Like
really up for it. I said it would be nice if it was a combination of Thai and Caribbean food. And she was really positive about the idea. And
I fucking bet she was, man.
yeah, she said, "Yeah, I'm up for that." So we agreed, "Yeah, we'll do that." And I thought, well, this will help as well, having the transport, because not only can we like transport produce to the venue, to the business premises, but we could also do deliveries ourselves to customers. So I thought, yeah, if I'm definitely coming back to Thailand, then definitely I should buy a moped. So I bought.
And like people like listen to this that maybe haven't gone overseas to a country like this might not understand how people can start thinking like in this way, but a lot of people do. It's like suddenly you go somewhere and it's like you've got money and it's like you got all these opportunities and people just rush in like this guy is. It happens to people you wouldn't expect it to happen to in a way.
A moped for her. In the end, I bought her a moped, and I bought her a helmet, even though most people don't wear helmets over there, and I bought myself a helmet. And we used this moped. Yeah, it's nice. I'm filming you.
Oh yeah, that looks like more like 12 or 15K. I mean, I don't know what the mileage on it is, but it doesn't look shit.
And everything seemed to be going swimmingly. And, you know, she was talking about a romantic thing. She wanted to have a romantic relationship with me, which I wasn't too sure about because, you know, lots of reasons. The distance.
It's sort of interesting. He's sort of doing it in a different way. Like a lot of guys will go into the romance and then get into the business and buying things like scooters. He's sort of doing it the other way around. He's buying the shit, talking about the business stuff, and then maybe going on to like a romance.
Um, there's a bit of an age difference. She has a child elsewhere that I don't know. Don't know how her family would feel about it. All sorts of things like that were in my head, and I thought, no, maybe not. I don't know. So, you know, I left Thailand with the idea that
Like he's definitely an honorable guy, right? You know, like he's got like an almost Christian values, man. Like respect him.
we had kissed. Okay, I'll admit we had kissed, but I left Thailand with the idea that we were going to be business partners. Okay, but when I
Like
got back to the
Jesus
UK,
fucking
we
Christ.
started chatting on. She started sending me video messages, and then sometimes we would do video calls, and we would chat every single day.
Darling, I miss you so much. Darling, I miss you too much. ก่อนนอนเนี่ย Darling, I miss you too much.
Like so I lived there for a number of years, and I'd know some girls, and I worked with some girls. Uh, one of which used to live in Pattaya, let's say, right? And they have many boyfriends, man. Like many boyfriends, overseas boyfriends that come at different times of the year. They don't know about each other, you know. The ones that really like provide the money are called sponsors.
Every single day for about. So I got back the end of last day of March, and then we chatted every day in April to the point where I thought, all right, I'm gonna have to go back. And so, like 6 weeks later, I was flying back to Thailand, mostly to see her because we'd built up a bit of a relationship, a bit of a connection, and I wanted to see if it was real. And my best friend, you know, bless his soul, lovely guy, kept on warning me. There's these women over there, and they do these scams. So you got to watch yourself. You really got to watch yourself because
Like so, I've only watched this far, right? But this is a 40-minute video, so I'm guessing he didn't listen to his best friend.
this woman is probably trying to scam you, and she's probably got a boyfriend somewhere else, or a boyfriend, you know, doing sort of all sorts of other things that I don't know about. So I I flew back to Thailand in when was it now? Well, to be honest with you, in between that time, so in that 6 weeks, before I talk about flying back to Thailand, in that 6 weeks, I kept on saying to, well, I said to her a few times, like, you know, if you come across any business premises that you think will be suitable for us to sort of consider renting to open a restaurant over there, and it's really easy to open a restaurant over there.
This is like making me think, man. Like, if she's gonna set up the deal for the premises, she can be in on it with the people who have the premises. The whole thing could just be a complete scam. But it got me thinking, what about the bike that you went to buy? Was it returned the second that he left the country, maybe? If she looked for the bike and she hooked up the person to buy the bike from, you know? Maybe I've got trust issues, but that's how I'd be thinking, eh?
Then let me know. Now, the thing with opening a restaurant over there, because I wouldn't, it would be hard for me to get a visa. It's really hard to get a visa to stay in Thailand. So I would never be able to, at the moment, or it would be very difficult for me to get a resident visa. So my idea was that she would run the business in her name and I would.
So he's going to bankroll this whole business and have it in the name of someone he met in his first night after arriving in Thailand. What could go wrong, man?
Kind of do the cooking and help out where I can. We both do the cooking, to be honest with you. And you know, we
This is a problem with dreams, man. People, it's good to dream, you know, but people get invested in the dream.
could both do the deliveries, but you know, everything would have to go through her bank account, and you know, I would come up with the lump sum to pay for
Yeah, like I said, he's going to bankroll the whole thing, but it's all going to be in her bank account.
the premises and to get the business going. So that was the idea, and
There's no shortage of restaurants in Thailand as well, let me say.
you know, and a few times she said to me, "Oh, I've seen this business premises here on the way to work. I've seen this business premises there on the way to work." And every time I kept on saying to her, "Okay, if you found somewhere, send me the details. Send me the details, or send me a picture," because I knew that in Thailand they always have massive billboards with the telephone number and the name of the estate agent that's dealing with the property. So I said, "Just send me a picture." Or send me the details or something, and she never once sent me any details. You know.
Or I don't think she was very sophisticated, a sophisticated scammer then. I think she was probably just hoping for not many questions and just a big bank transfer, I'm thinking. But like, make no mistake, there's going to be women 10 times cleverer than her.
But she kept on saying that, look, I found a business premises there, but still no details. And this went on for 6 weeks. Then eventually I go back to Thailand. So this is like, what is it, middle of May. I go back to Thailand. So it's 2 months after my beginning of my first trip. I'm back there again. So I've arrived in Bangkok. The time is 6:15 in the evening. It's a bit cloudy, but very, very warm still. And
Like, I have said it before, but I just want to say again, like, no disrespect for this guy. Actually, I respect him for uploading this video. Because this must happen to like tens of thousands of guys. And they won't talk about it on YouTube. Because it takes a kind of brave person to do a video like this, you know?
yeah, nice flight.
It's still funny. To me, it's still funny though.
And she meets me when I get off the bus from the airport. She meets me at the bus station. And then we get a taxi to my hotel, which is a fantastic hotel, the Gazebo Hotel. Had a great time there. And, you know, we chatted, we caught up. It was really, really nice to see her. She seemed really excited to see me. And everything seemed to be going really, really well. And then she didn't want to talk much about this business idea, but eventually we got to a point where I moved hotels.
You know, that's kind of, maybe she's having second thoughts and she's like, I don't want to scam this guy if she's not. She didn't spend that time making photos of a fake place and trying to get deposits or anything like that. So, maybe she's got a bit of a good heart there,
So every week I was changing hotels because I wanted to just see different parts of Pattaya. So every single week I changed hotels. So the first week I was in hotel I booked. The second week I was in another hotel I booked, which was an absolutely terrible hotel. Now, when we were in the second hotel, what happened was we were hanging out, and she got a call from one of her friends who she shares her accommodation with, claiming that her friend had lost her key. Now, we had planned to do lots of things that day, and we were due to go to a nightclub that night because one of an artist that she wanted to see was performing in the nightclub. So she said, "All right, I'm just gonna go. It's gonna be half an hour there, half an hour there and back. I'm gonna drop off the key for my friend because she lost the key or whatever." And
I'll be honest, I got no idea where this story's going, but it's like pregnant with suspense, right?
yeah, I'll be back. And she went, and I didn't see her for 2 days. Didn't I got like maybe a couple of messages from her in the 2 days. She vanished for the 2 days. Now,
You know what I'd be thinking, honestly? She's got another sponsor there at the same time, like another one of these boyfriends, and she's having to juggle her fucking time.
what I've left out is some key detail here. Like at one point, I was out shopping in a market with her and her flatmate, and she was telling like her flatmate was um, getting her to help her book a hotel called the D Eco Wellness Center in Pattaya, and it seemed like a big deal. And like her flatmate had this Russian boyfriend, okay, and so she needed to book it because her Russian boyfriend was coming to town, and he sent her money to book this room in this hotel. And so she was helping her friend book this hotel, and then I was talking to her, and I was saying to her, "Oh, she's got a Russian boyfriend." And I was asking about this boyfriend of hers and why haven't I ever heard about him or seen him, and all this sort of stuff. And she was saying, "Oh, she has lots of boyfriends all over the place who send her money." So she's got like she was telling me like maybe 10, 15 boyfriends.
So it's like she's kind of being honest, because she's talking about herself as well, obviously, right?
This is the girl, okay? She's got about 10, 15 boyfriends or something. And they all send her money. So she doesn't have to work. She's got loads of money coming in. And so that was alarm bells. Suddenly alarm bells were ringing in my head. Oh my God.
This is like, what was it? We're like 3 months later or something now. Only now is he getting alarm bells.
Because my view has always been whatever your friend is doing, if it's your closest friend, you're doing the same thing too. So my alarm bells started ringing like crazy when she said that. So anyway, her friend booked the hotel for the following week, I think it was, when I was staying in the second hotel. And whilst her friend was staying in this hotel, this is when she got the
I'm almost surprised she didn't get this guy to pay for it.
call. I think it was on the first day. She was supposed to be in the hotel. She got a call from her friend. She went over. She was supposed to drop the key. Eventually, at some point, some of the messages she was sending me, eventually I asked her, what are you up to? And she sent me a picture of herself in the swimming pool at the hotel.
Darling, everything very clean. Darling, you look can cook, darling.
เปลี่ยนเสื้อผ้า
ไปเปิดอันนี้หน่อยดิ
เปิดดิ
And then also a picture of her having breakfast at the hotel. And I thought, well, if you're having breakfast at the hotel, you must have slept at the hotel. I doubt it was a really expensive, it's a 5-star hotel, okay? So I really doubt that she'd booked a room for herself. So I would imagine that she had stayed in the same room as her friend and her friend's boyfriend, which to me sounds like a threesome, sounds like an orgy, okay?
It could have been, or it could have been that there was two Russian guys and the whole thing was organized, right?
Sorry, probably shouldn't say that word. So I just thought, yeah, this isn't the one. This is not the one. So I checked out. At that point, I absolutely checked out of
Meanwhile, he's bought, I'm guessing, a motorbike in her name, right?
any kind of idea of having a relationship with her. And I think I was kind of offended by the fact that she had made all these arrangements with me and then gone missing. All this time she went missing, and I didn't know whether what was going on, really. I just didn't know what was going on, whether we were still going out that day. I had to just sit around and wait. And then late at night, she sent me a message saying she wasn't coming back. She's tired. And then the next day, she didn't message me until like the afternoon. And she still had her stuff in my hotel room, okay? So she had a bag of her stuff in my hotel room. So I packed her bag and I messaged her and I said, look, I've packed your stuff. Do you want me to leave it at the reception for you?
I mean, fair play, you know, like, that's nice of him to do that.
Because I've got other things to do. Because I'm not going to sit around waiting around for you. And so she said, no, I will come and meet you when you're free.
You know I love you so much, darling. I'm sorry.
And so eventually, a couple of days later, we met up. And we had a little chat, and she was telling me, she just made up a whole load of excuses, which now I know are totally untrue. But she made up a whole load of excuses that she was tired, she wasn't feeling well, this was happening, that was happening, blah, 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 blah. And it was all bullshit. But at the time, I kind of felt sorry for her, and I thought, okay, let's just make this business. Let's just make this business. So let's focus on this whole restaurant thing.
So, like, after all this shit, right? This guy's still thinking about going into business with this girl. Like, let that sink in. He's bought her a bike. He even just said that the friends that you hang around with tell me something about the person. So he's kind of worked out probably what she does, right? At least as part of her career. He met her on the first day. He's had this revelation, and now he's like, let's still do business with this woman. I mean, he's already just said that he knows she's lying. Why would he go into business with someone that you know is dishonest? But it happens, man. It happens to people, you know. Like, not judging them. This is like just. It still amazes me though. It amazes me that people, like grown men, do this. Not judging him. Many grown men do this. Who should know better, right?
Now, she said to me, you know what? I think your next hotel should be this hotel that I stayed in the other day, because it's really, really good. So she admitted that she stayed there with her friend. And I thought, let me go and see this. Let me see what the prices are for this hotel. If it's as good as the pictures and it's reasonable price, I'll book it. So I looked it up.
It's like $3,000 a night.
Found it.
At least,
Firstly, I think I got it. No, I did. I booked it on booking.com. So went to this hotel. I booked it for the following week. Went there. She came with me. And one of the reasons I booked it is because it had a kitchen in, I think you've probably seen the video where I'm cooking in my hotel room. I'm here, and I'm actually making some banana fritters. And I thought, I've done a video before of me making banana fritters, but I thought I'd just do another video. I think the last time I did a video of me making banana fritters, I was in Watford. One of the reasons I booked it was because it had this kitchen. It was absolutely brilliant hotel. The Wi-Fi was pants, did not work, but everything else in the hotel was seemed very, very good. Swimming pool on the roof, you know, it had a spa, it had gym, it had everything. Okay, so I had a great time to a certain extent there. But she came over, but she kept on vanishing. She'd vanish every day for like 3 or 4 hours, come back and forth, back and forth. And the idea was for me to cook some food.
Like, you'd have to ask yourself, right, why would someone still be interacting with this woman?
I mean, there's more to the story, and what I will probably direct you to my second channel. So I have a second channel, which I haven't really got going properly yet, where I'll flesh this all out properly.
Yeah, there's definitely some kind of important details missing from this story, for sure.
Because I'm just giving you an executive summary, abbreviated sort of version of what happened. But what really was of concern to me was that we went out. So what I said to her is, look, I need to see what your cooking skills are like, because I started doubting her, and also I am going to cook some Jamaican food so you get a taste of it, to see whether you think it's okay for the Thai palate. So we went out and we did all this shopping, and I bought pots and pans and all sorts of things because we had this kitchen. I didn't realize at the time that I could have got pots and pans from reception.
Like, I think this guy's got a good job, man. Like, he's obviously got quite a bit of disposable income. If he's buying pots and pans and shit for a hotel, it's kind of... I mean, fair play, like... But, I mean, he's got to have a bit of cash, right?
I think. But so I went out to the supermarket and I bought pots and pans and frying pans and utensils and all sorts of stuff. And I said, look, we can use this in a restaurant anyway, so it doesn't matter that we're spending money now.
Ah, okay,
so I
yeah.
bought all this stuff. It came to a fortune.
This is true. He's still got this dream of this restaurant that he's going to open with this girl that he knows now is dishonest and who he doesn't really know much about. So yeah, in that, if you put yourself in other people's minds, sometimes you can understand what they're thinking. And yeah, like, now I understand why he would buy pots and pans, because he's still got this dream. It's like a future. So why not buy the pots and pans today? We're going to be using them anyway, right?
Actually, bought all this stuff, and then ended up cooking in the hotel room. And we both cooked food, and it was absolutely amazing. I got to admit, her cooking was like second to none.
But you'd be surprised, man, like, just generally, Thai women, the average is super high when it comes to cooking. Just the average Thai woman is good at cooking. Obviously, there's people that are way better, but being a good cook doesn't really mean you're gonna know how to run a restaurant, though, right?
Some of the best food I've ever had. So I did this cooking with her. But one thing that kind of did mess with my head at one point when we were staying at this hotel was we went into the swimming pool on the roof, and I was there, like, I had my music going, had a big speaker, Bluetooth speaker going with some music.
Oh, baby, I love you long time, baby.
And at one point, there was just her, myself, and this guy who was Eastern European, Russian, I think, who was just sitting in the pool by himself. And I was at one, like, to the same end of the pool. So I'm the sort of person I talk to everybody. So I started talking to him, befriending him. And we were chatting. I can't remember what he said his name was, because I'm not very good with names. And we were chatting for ages, and he was explaining to me that he originally came to Australia from his original country of origin. It could have been Ukraine or somewhere, Russia, Poland. And he had grown up in Australia, or spent a lot of his teenage years and adult years in Australia, so he's got an Australian passport, but he now spends most of his time in Pattaya, in Thailand. And so we got chatting and chatting.
You know, like, I think Thai people are really honest, generally. I mean, obviously, maybe not the kind of girl this guy was knocking around with, but generally, Thai people are honest. But generally, expats in Thailand are the ones you don't want to trust. I was an expat in Thailand. Maybe you shouldn't have trusted me, but I wasn't actually ripping anyone off or being sketchy. But there's a lot of sketchy fucking expats in Thailand.
But the whole time, my friend, my female friend, whose name I haven't even told you, but I'll do a separate part of the video where I talk about her identity, which is very.
I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea for him to be like naming her, because it doesn't matter what her name is, right? Maybe you shouldn't do that. What's important, I think, is this story. You don't need to name her, or give her a fake name, maybe. But also, like, if he does name her, it's not like doxing on YouTube. I don't know. If I was him, I wouldn't name her.
Interesting. So yeah, he was telling me all this stuff, and she was right at the other end of the pool.
And on another thing, you got to be really careful accusing people, I guess, of things in Thailand. He's like already shown her face, which if I was doing this video, I wouldn't have done, because it's like defamation in Thailand's like a serious thing. It's not like in other countries where it's like a civil thing. In Thailand, if you accuse people of stuff that's maybe not good on their character or that kind of thing, it's like defamation, which is criminal, not civil, criminal. So yeah, you definitely shouldn't be fucking naming her, and maybe you shouldn't have shown her face.
And she was trying not to turn around. I noticed she was facing away.
Because let's be clear, she's not broken any laws so far, and he hasn't got any proof of anything, right? I mean, maybe I should be careful what I say. I think we all know what's going on, right? In a story similar to this, which happens hundreds of thousands of times, right? But that's different from saying she's definitely doing this, right?
And then eventually I called her over. This was about half an hour in. I thought, she's at the other end of the pool. She's not come over to me. It's like I don't exist. And I called her over to the other end of the pool. And she came over, but she was kind of a bit of a distance away from me. And she was acting really, really weird. And I thought, this is really strange. And she didn't speak at all. She didn't speak. She didn't say a single word. And I thought, this is weird. This is a girl who's one of the most talkative people. Even around strangers, she's one of the most talkative people I've ever come across. And suddenly she's not talking. So I carry on talking to this guy and so on and so forth. And eventually we leave the pool. And a couple of times I now remember, in hindsight, that she went to the pool by herself.
Oh, you know what? The plot twist, I should have seen it. This was the Russian guy who was at the hotel that she stayed with. She stayed with him that week before. It's the same guy. They're both Russian. Fucking should have seen that coming. Like, I mean, I should have seen that coming.
For like 3 or 4 hours. Well, maybe not 3 or 4, maybe 2 hours. She'd go to the pool. At times when she knew I wanted a nap, she would go off to the pool. Or so she said. She'd go off to the pool. And as soon as she came back, she'd go and have a shower. That tells a story. His own story.
Yeah, maybe you should be at least glad that she had a shower afterwards, right?
But, okay, I'll tell you what. Little did I know that she knew this guy that I was talking to in the pool. She knew him, okay? And little did I know that the reason she was having a shower was because she was having sex with this guy who was in the pool. Now, that's fine, Okay, that's fine. Because, I wasn't like that committed to her in terms of I hadn't like decided where things were gonna go. So I'm kind of cool with that side of it. I don't like the duplicity of it that she
Is he still gonna go into business with her after this? That's a big question.
was protect. Now, this is what I've worked out. The Russian guy that her friend was meeting was this guy. She had had a threesome already with this guy before.
I mean, like, okay, it took this guy a while to work it out, but I should have worked this out the second he said in this video there was a Russian guy at the pool. I'm disappointed at myself that I didn't click that.
Before I ever met him in the pool. Okay? I mean, you couldn't make it up. You couldn't make it up. So I was sitting there like a lemon, not knowing what the hell was going on, until later on when I put all the pieces together. And I'll explain to you. Maybe I'll explain to you in another video, because this has been 26 minutes. I explained to you how I put the pieces together. But what this tells you is that you cannot trust. If you, as a British tourist,
Is he gonna say you can't trust someone you meet who approaches you at night on your first day in Pattaya? Is that the takeaway?
as an American tourist, understand that if you are over there, or even an expat living over there, if you meet a woman in Thailand, you are one of many. You are always going to be one of.
Nah, not always. Not always. But if you're meeting someone in a way you did, or in a bar in a place like Pattaya, then yeah. But there's plenty of women in Thailand that are just literally normal and not playing a game. There's plenty.
Many men on her list. Okay, you will never, ever be in a relationship, and you should never, ever start a business with a Thai woman. And that will be probably in the next part of my video, And some of you may have seen my music video. So I did do the music video with her.
Love me, baby. Come on, hold me, baby. 'Cause you know that I'll be here with you. My one, two, my all and all. Love me, baby. Come on, hold me, baby. 'Cause you know that I'll be here with you. My one, two, my all and all. 'Cause you know that I'll be here with you. My one, two, my all and all.
And I did edit this video, and it was available to be released. But finding out what I'm finding out about her, I've decided it's just not right for me to be in a music video with this person.
Yeah, and like maybe it's not right uploading a face to this video either in a way. I mean, fuck, like, I'm responding to this video. Maybe I should cut those bits out too.
Is a criminal. She's a criminal, and I don't want a criminal in my music video.
Now this is where you're going wrong. You're saying she's a criminal. What law has she broken? What law has she broken? So is she a criminal? That's what I'm talking about with this like defamation shit. You don't want to be accusing people of crimes in Thailand, as a Falang, in my personal opinion.
She's a fraudster, she's a scammer, and she is one of the worst types of people you could ever meet. What is incredible, and I don't know if all the time, I would love.
Okay, I'm not a lawyer or anything, but I don't see any law that she's broken with him, or any extortion or fraud that she's committed with him. He's allowed her to, I guess, buy her a motorbike. It's a gift, right?
To hear more stories. I have heard some stories from people when I was in Thailand, but none of them like this story, because she was playing the longest game I've ever seen. I mean, I'm an ex-fraud officer, so I was very cautious, and the only reason.
Jesus fucking Christ! He was an ex-fraud officer? See what I mean? Like, people just don't see things like this coming. Like, it's weird. Like, people arrive on holiday and it's like they just dream and they have this, like, they let the guard down. And I mean, I guess it's a bit different for me because I've worked overseas a lot and I've traveled a lot. Not saying I'm like fucking man of the world or something, but you know, you learn pretty early on to look out for yourself, right? But this guy was a professional fraud officer, I'm guessing for the police or something, right? Or if not the police, maybe it could be like some civil lawyer type shit. And even he was like doing this shit, going into business with someone he just met, buying them a scooter. They approached him. It's fucking crazy, man. But it just shows, man. It just shows, eh?
I didn't lose my lose my hat, so to speak, or my shoes, was because
He'd have lost at least like that 12 or 15K for that scooter though. But not through fraud. That was a gift, as far as I can see. I don't see that she's broken any laws.
because I'm an ex-fraud officer, and so
Ex-fraud officer.
as
Jesus.
soon as it started getting a bit fishy, I started questioning
It was like fishy from day one to me. Maybe I should become a fraud officer, man.
things. So what? I spent about £200. I'm not joking. £200 on a moped, right? That's my biggest
£200. Well, fuck, you got a deal, man.
expense with this woman. Um, I've spent like I've sent her bits and pieces of money when she's claimed to be sick, when she's claimed that she wanted things for the restaurant, just smaller things for the restaurant that we were going to set up. I've sent her very small sums of money over a long period of time. But I haven't been totally like, I could have been really badly scammed because there was potential for me to send her a big chunk of money. Why I never sent her a big chunk of money wasn't because I'm the best sleuth on planet Earth. It's just luck, absolute luck, that saved my bacon, which I will talk about in the next video. But understand,
He's a fucking good YouTuber in a way because he's like leaving these little unfinished details for the next video, and he's making me want to watch the next video. But if he's going to be exposing this girl's name and shit in the next video, I cannot fucking respond to that because I don't want to be breaking any Thai laws by, defamation and that kind of shit.
that
I might have to leave it at this video.
I was almost scammed, really badly scammed and I call it a Thai, it was kind of a romance scam because she's tried to get romantic with me, tried to make me trust her romantically, was feeling me out to see how extensive my wealth was before hitting me with the big shots. And, she came very close, I would say, to doing it because she could have ended up forging documents and
On it, like, people lose their fucking ass in these kind of things, man. Like, they lose everything. Not many people, but there's enough people who go to Thailand and they'll lose fucking everything. But it's like a casino. Some people go into a casino and they're gonna lose everything, right?
all sorts of things. And I've seen it with there's a channel I watch called Mac TV, and he lives in Pattaya. He's a British guy who lives in Pattaya, and he's tried to buy or rent or get a lease on a bar in Thailand, and they've tried to scam him. And he's tried it with a number of bars, and
You know what? One thing that happens, like with like say these like sort of go-go titty bars and stuff that you'll see run by like phalanx. It's like a rinse and repeat sort of thing. So someone kind of actually owns the property or something, and they'll kind of make it look like it's making money. Some retired phalang who's got a bit of money, or he's divorced and he sold the house or something, and he's like, fucking, I'm gonna own a titty bar or a go-go bar. It's gonna be the fucking dream, right? And yeah, they'll buy it, and then after a few years, because you still haven't to pay the rent or something to to the owner goes bankrupt because it's just totally not viable. And also, like, you're trying to. I mean, I'm sure some people can run these girls, but they'd have to know what they're fucking doing. And I knew someone that used to be a madame, and she was a pretty scary fucking person, right? She was cool, but she was scary. And some foreign guy trying to run this kind of thing. The whole thing is, the scam is that you'll buy this business. It's actually not profitable, but you're paying the rent all the time. You're not making money, losing it. Then you have to sort of close. Then these guys the owner some other falang will come along and open it. And it's like, I don't know a lot about it, but a little bit. And it's like, a year or two sort of cycle. But there's always someone new to come and live the dream, of running like a little hookah bar. It's fucking, yeah.
Every single time they've tried to scam him. So, this is a seasoned guy who's been living in Thailand for quite a few years, and they've still tried to scam him. And he's been, clever enough to see through the scam. And
Just want to say though, like, if you actually forget go-go bar places like this, if you're actually doing business with Thai people, any kind of transaction sort of thing, like a handshake is good. If that person's good, it's better than a contract. Like, it's people, in my opinion, are like super fucking honest there. If I was ever going to do any business though, I mean, I wouldn't deal with any falang, full stop. And I wouldn't do this kind of like a bar or I don't know, anything like this in Pattaya.
And I probably didn't have enough experience to see through the scam. I felt that Thai people were all very trustworthy, but it turns
You know what? They fucking pretty much are.
out that most of them, well, not most of them, the one I met, and the women, particularly the
Yeah,
women,
the woman who in Pattaya, and if you don't know Pattaya, it's pretty famous for a particular kind of entertainment, right? And if a stranger approaches you as a tourist anywhere in the world, that person is probably not approaching you for your best interest, right? But you can't judge all Thai women on this. That's like if you go to London, someone pickpockets you and you judge everyone in England on it. It's kind of crazy,
I've met, and the taxi drivers as well, are scammers. They're absolute scammers. So it is a beautiful place. Don't get me wrong, Thailand is still one of the best places I've ever been to in the whole world. And I've had a great time. And I tell you what, in some ways, like,
I used to leave the key in my scooter everywhere. I had a helmet that was worth way more than this scooter that he bought, and I'd just leave that on my fucking scooter. My front door, I've never locked it. Literally, never fucking locked it. Because I'd have to lock it, that's a pain in the ass. No one's gonna fucking burglar it. Because it's Thailand, and they're honest as fuck. Now, I wasn't living in Pattaya though.
This young lady, who I will call, what's the best name for her? Would I call her Mimi, Slow High, Smile, Nutty? I don't know. But whatever her name is, I owe her for showing me around, because she genuinely did show me around. And that was part of her long game. The problem for her is I pulled out of the long game before she could elevate it to the level of getting the big sum of money out of me that she was working towards. As I said, I will get into the ins. This is just an executive summary of what.
So yeah, like I've actually gone back. I'm gonna go back and edit this video. I'm gonna cover any of her face, basically, even though I'm not accusing her or anything. But he's gone on now. The bit I'm about to fucking edit out completely. He names her, and he shows her passport. and he's accused her of being a criminal. That's like super sketchy shit, in my opinion, to do in Thailand. Uh, I mean, well, doxing anyway, it's kind of against the YouTube rules, right? But accusing someone of being a criminal in Thailand, that's like defamation, right? But it's like defamation is a criminal offense, so you can get fined and this sort of shit for accusing someone of a criminal act. It's not like it is in Europe and shit. So if I was him, not saying you shouldn't upload this video, but if I was him, I would at least delete this part where he shows her fucking passport. By the way, the passport that he paid for her to get because he wanted to be a business partner with her, right?
Kind of happened to me. I'll be clear with, so her full name is...
He literally just fucking gave her full name. Why? What's to gain from that other than him getting himself in trouble with the law in fucking Thailand? Like, the story is really good. He's telling a story as old as time, right? And it's gonna actually teach people shit. But now he's kind of gonna get himself in trouble. If this girl sees this video, she can just instantly get it taken down on YouTube because he's doxed her, which is against the rules. And if he lands next time in Pattaya, he can get in fucking shit if she presses charges.
That's the name, as far as I'm aware, on...
I might be overreacting, you know. I'm not being involved in this situation. I don't know Thai culture perfectly. I was there 6 years though, and I knew some sort of things, like you gotta be careful what you say about people.
The passport, which I bought for her. I bought her a passport, but that was like, what was that? That would have been about 20 quid. It cost me 20 quid to get her a passport. Okay, because she was going to come over to the UK at some point as well. So I thought, you know, as it's a business partner, she needs to have a passport. But she uses the name Slow High, which is because she smokes weed and she gets a slow high. And she also uses the name Mimi in...
I mean, it sounds like a perfect business partner, right?
When she's out and about, so clubbing and working, she uses the name Mimi. And on her social media, she uses the name... And she is an absolute fraudster. She's a scammer, and she's not to be trusted. But I will get into more depth about it, because I have my son staying with me, and I need to sort of attend to him, and this is such a long story, and I don't want to make this video go on and bore you to tears, but this is the first part of how I almost got romance scammed by a Thai person. And as usual, please do like the video.
Okay, so yeah, in summary, respect to him for uploading this. I wish I'd fucking known that he was gonna literally say this girl's name and show documents and shit, because now I have to go back and edit this fucking video. I've got to, like, I don't know, black out the bits that show her face or whatever and all this kind of shit, you know. And that sucks because I hate fucking having to do this. The whole reason I do react videos is it's effortless, it's easy. Now I've got to go and do some editing, if I even get around to it. But yeah, respect this guy for uploading a video. If he's listening, if he's got this far, my advice to him, re-upload this video, but blur her face out, black her face out, cut out the bit where you name her actual name, and the bit where you put her passport up, because I think zero to gain from that anyway, but you're opening yourself up to risk. So to risk without any reward, you could get in trouble with YouTube, you could get in trouble legally in Thailand. If I can just re-edit the video, that's what I would do. That's what I'm gonna have to do.